Just like with the Detroit Lions and the Detroit Red Wings and the Detroit Tigers, we have to emphasize the word patience to our Detroit fans. Because I don't know what you're thinking. Me personally, I know we coming off not a great year, 23-59. They were 28th in offense. They were 24th in defense. I'm expecting better than that, but I don't think we a play-in team just yet, Ryan.
No, I mean, the Pistons should be pretty bad. They were a bad team last year, and they added some pieces, but it's still a young team. And you just look at the rest of the teams in the East. This is like the best that the Eastern Conference has ever been that I can recall. Well, they're obviously not going to be better than the Bucks or the Nets or the Heat, the Sixers, the Raptors, the Celtics, like name it, right? Probably not better than the Cavaliers either. Might not even be better than the New York Knicks with who they brought in. So you start to even just look at in the NBA who you know that they're better than, and there's really not that many teams. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if the Pistons ended up with a bottom 6 record in the NBA and had one of the best 6 lottery odds to go and draft Wembanyama. But I think it's just a really, it's obvious. I don't think it's a really bad team, but it's a team that still has a long way to go before we're talking about the play-in. And the play-in is still the top 10 teams in the conference, and I don't think the Pistons are close to that, and there's only 15 teams in each conference. So you start to talk about them, and when you start to frame it like that, you can, I don't know, like it puts it into reality for me. So I don't expect the season to be great from a win-loss perspective. I think they'll be in a lot of games. I think we're going to get some strides, and certainly going to be fun to watch the guys grow, whether it's Cade Cunningham taking another step, Saddiq Bey, seeing if he can take that next step, Killian Hayes, can he continue a little bit what he's been doing in the preseason. I went to the last preseason game, not the one that happened yesterday, but the one that was played on Tuesday, and Killian looked really good. The Pistons lost by 20, but Killian had 4 threes. I think he had 6 assists, and so it's just going to be fun to see these different young players grow. Jaden Ivey, Jalen Duren, who might get a lot of run at the beginning of the season because Marvin Bagley's hurt, and we'll see. But I don't expect the Pistons to be very competitive for the playoffs.
Yeah, Bagley going down certainly hurts. We talked about this last year. We talked about it on Throwing Stones. I was stoked that they made that move to bring Bagley in. I never thought he really got a real chance in Sacramento, and I was hoping we can be where his career really takes off, and it still can be. Obviously, it's an MCL sprain, nothing really torn. Hopefully after that 3 or 4 weeks, he comes back and can really show what he can be in the NBA. I mean, we're talking about a former number 2 pick, right? The number 2 pick for Sacramento? I'm almost positive. Exactly. But aside from that, just taking a look at the guys that a lot of them you had just talked about. We're talking about Cade Cunningham. He's in his 2nd year. And Jaden Ivey in his 1st year. Jalen Duren in his 1st year. Killian Hayes in his 3rd year. Saddiq Bey in his 3rd year. Beef Stew in his 3rd year. Livers in his 2nd year. That's 7 players that can really be a great core of a team going forward. But they're in their 3rd year or less. They are still growing into this league, into this game. And so that's why I want to temper expectations with fans out there, because fans are crazy, man. You have no idea what these fans are thinking. But there is something happening here in Detroit with this team. It's not going to happen this year. Next year, I'm hoping that we are fighting for a play-in position. This year, I'm expecting us to be a little bit better than we were last year, but I want to see growth. I want to see growth from Cunningham. I mean, geez, talk about the way that Dwayne Casey is talking about him and putting on 20 pounds of muscle and looking unrecognizable. This is a guy who, for the second half of the season, after the All-Star break, over 20 points, over 6 assists a game, was used way too much for a rookie. That's how bad the Pistons were. They needed something out of it. And we are also a team who got rid of our leading scorer in Jeremy Grant. It was essentially a trade to get Duren, which is not a bad move, obviously, because Grant was the odd man out. For as good as he wasn't going to be part of the future build for the Pistons, so it made sense. But that's why I'm saying you got to temper expectations. I don't even know what people's expectations are, but seeing what we've seen for Lions expectations, that's why I'm getting out in front of this ahead of time to say, don't be expecting this team to be fighting for a playoff position yet. We're not there. But those 7 guys I just named are a beautiful core to have for the future. And in 3 years from now, we should be talking about one of the better teams in basketball if we're keeping all these guys together and they pan out the way that we hope they do.
Yeah, Cade's amazing. Cade's great. And I think even if Cade plays at a borderline all-star level this year, the Pistons could still be looking at one of those bottom 6 records in the NBA. Now, yet next year is the year, depending on even whatever happens in the draft, whether you get Wembanyama or not. Just getting somebody else and getting all these guys an extra year of experience, there'd be really no excuse for the Pistons not to at least be in the play-in tournament next year. But this year, it's all about growth. It's all about getting the young guys ready. And the Pistons, to their credit, it's not a team that is openly tanking like the Spurs are, like the Pacers, the Jazz, or a team like that. They're a team who went out and they did try to make the roster better. They went out, they got shooters, they got Alex Burke, they got Bojan Bogdanovic, 2 guys who were better shooters than really anybody that the Pistons had last year. And you pair that with, you think we're going to get a bigger role from Isaiah Livers. I'm sure we are. And it's just surrounding Cade with more shooters, surrounding Jaden Ivey with more shooters. But that's where, again, I would try to temper the expectations of the fan base. Jaden Ivey, he certainly could win Rookie of the Year, but more likely than not, he's going to come in the NBA and he's going to struggle to find his footing for the first probably half of the season, right? These guys just don't come in and make immediate impacts, usually, especially not drafted at number 5 where Jaden Ivey was drafted. And that doesn't mean he sucks. It doesn't mean he's a bust or a bum or anything like that. It just takes a while to adjust to the NBA game. I don't understand. And Ivey's probably not even going to be starting to start the year. He might be now, but he wasn't going to be, right? The starting lineup would have been Cade, Bojan, Sadiq, Marvin Bagley, and then Isaiah Stewart. But now that Marvin Bagley's hurt, it's probably going to be the starting lineup that we saw the Pistons do last night in the preseason game, which is Cade, Ivey, Sadiq, Bojan, and Isaiah Stewart. So Jaden Ivey might start the year, but it certainly wasn't the plan. And not even trying to say that they were trying to bring him along slowly, but they were just trying to bring him along like you would a normal rookie, because you don't want to just throw him in there and then have him be like hot garbage or something. And not that you would expect him to be. He's probably going to be your worst starter just because he's a rookie. These other guys have been in the NBA, not for very long, mind you, but they've been in the NBA and they've already gone through at least a full season with Cade, a couple seasons with obviously the other guys, Stewart and Bay. But it's a super young team, and traditionally super young teams don't win in the NBA unless you have Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook and James Harden and Serge Ibaka, which the Pistons don't have. They got some good players, but usually if you're that young, it just doesn't come that quickly for you. Yeah. But I think most Pistons fans should know that. There's going to be some excitement to start the year. They're playing Orlando game 1 of the season, and Orlando is in a pretty similar spot with the Pistons as far as what the rebuild looks like. And there's a lot of people who think Orlando could be pretty good too. They might be bottom 6. They have, you're looking at betting odds, I think they have one of the lowest over-under win totals. I mean, the Pistons, of course, but that's just another young team to match up against at the start of the season. And you're going to see there might be some overreaction from that game. Oh my God, how could we lose to the Magic? Or, oh, look at us 1-0. We're God's gift to basketball. So it's really just about keeping those expectations set.
Hey, Ryan Griffin here. Thank you so much for watching today's episode of Griffin and Bass. Be sure to give us your thoughts in the comments below. Remember to click the bell to receive the latest notifications from DSN, and subscribe for breaking news, community blogs, polls, contests, and other content.